Welcome to the workout. I've got a great legs, shoulder, abs workout for us today. It's one of my favorites. It's brand new. We are going to be working in supersets. 2 exercises put back to back with no rest in between. Then you're going to take a short rest in between that superset. I'll be demonstrating 2 supersets. If you want a harder workout today, I encourage you to move faster and do 3 supersets. If you need a more gentle workout today, focus on body weight only. Aim for only 1 or 2 of the supersets. And you can adjust your repetitions. Now, I want everybody aiming for 12 repetitions because this is a strength workout, but you can do more or fewer if you need to. Let's get started. Take your feet separated, take a big inhale up. Exhale it out, 2 more just like that. And when you inhale, I want you to really lengthen up to the ceiling as much as you can because that activates your core. I want to get your core activated before we get into this ab workout today. Exhale, 1 more. Now, just gently take your arms up over your head with your feet under your hips. And on go, I want you to actively and aggressively reach up for the ceiling. Go. I want you to lengthen yourself out as long as you possibly can, stretching out every little inch. Lengthen, reach, 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 reach. Exhale and relax it out. Let's come into some spinal twist. So on that reaching exercise, it's a fantastic exercise to warm up the transverse abdominis, and it really hinges upon you reaching actively as high as you possibly can up towards the sky because that activates what's called the transverse abdominis. That's the muscle that holds your belly inward, and it's the muscle we really want engaged and activated throughout the workout. So let's do it one more time. Take your feet just under your hips, hands over your head naturally, and go. Reach up as high as you possibly can. Visualize your spine lengthening out, creating space between the vertebrae. Breathe with short little breaths just so that you're not holding your breath. Reach, 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 and relax it down. Let's do that spinal rotation one more time. Squeeze the glute on the leg that you're turning away from. Left glute, right glute. Activate your glute to create a foundation to turn around. I love this move. It just releases some of that stickiness throughout your body. It gets the heart rate going. It feels good. It helps to mobilize the hips a little bit. And let's do 1 more. And relax it out. Take your feet separated, nice and wide. Take a look down at your feet, and you want your feet truly parallel to each other. Super important. Take a look down, feet parallel, bend your knees, hips back, abs in, and we're going to go side to side for one of my favorite preparatory exercises. If you've done my workout before, you know I love this. Let me tell you, this is a great exercise for you to do every single day or before every workout. It's such a great preparatory move. Sit deeply. As it begins to open up and feel better, you're going to sit deeper and reach across the floor. I want you to sit nice and deep into that side that you're reaching towards, activating the glute and the hamstring. Drive into the heel. Keep your toes relaxed and really press into your heels. Press into that heel to activate your posterior chain muscles, specifically hamstrings and glutes for the most part. But I really want you shifting your energy towards your backside because most women need a lot more hamstring and glute work than they do quads. 2 more here. And relax. We're going to go to our reach and reverse lunge, which is another one of my favorites. Another great move to do every single day. Big reach, stepping back into a lunge. Big reach, other side. Dropping straight down to the ground. Sitting deeply into that front leg. Do be aware of where your front knee is. We want it somewhere between the heel and the toe. So when you look down at the bottom here, your knee should be above your foot somewhere between the heel and the toe. On this exercise, we don't want your knee forward of the toe on this exercise. Other exercises we do, but not this one. Big reach, bringing the heart rate up, warming up all those important muscles for the workout. And let's do one more. And relax. Feet together. Bend into your knees. Bring your fists right in front of your knees. Make a thumbs up sign. And from here, I want you to drive your thumbs back towards the wall behind you. This is a great shoulder warm-up because today's workout is legs, shoulders, and abs. And I want to make sure your posterior deltoid is firing, is in place, is warmed up. It also just feels good, doesn't it? Oh, so good. Really press back. So imagine you have to really actively press back. You're not just flinging your arms up. It's a controlled contraction through the back of the shoulders so that muscle begins to activate, so it'll be ready for the workout. 2 more here. 1 more. One last preparatory move. I want you to bring all of your body weight onto one leg with this knee soft. So if you're mirroring me, you're on your right leg with the right knee soft. Really important so that you'll activate the muscles of the foot. I just want you to find your balance, and then once you do, use your arms to counterbalance. I want you to look around your space. It's going to throw your balance off. That's the whole point of this exercise, is to intentionally throw your balance off as you're looking around. If you're good at this, I want you to look up, look down, look all around, look behind you, challenge yourself. This is one of the best exercises you can do to really improve the functional health of the legs and relax, as well as balance, core stability. It's so good for your feet, your arches, your ankles. Come on over to the left foot. Knee is soft. That's really important. If you notice that you have a tendency to lock out your knee, that is an indication that your hamstrings are weak, and you really have to work on this semi-squat bent position. Once you settle in, look around your space. Now, I realize if you're watching this and recording, I might look ridiculous doing it. I understand that it's kind of a silly looking exercise, but I promise you, there will be years in your future where you will be so thankful that you learned this exercise from me. Look up, look down, move around, because you want to be throwing your balance off. You may have to tap down to catch your balance, but I really want you challenging your balance. You're going to feel all the muscles of your leg really warming up and firing, especially up into that glute medius. Couple more seconds here, looking all around, using your hands for balance, and relax. Oh, by the way, I realize that I might make that exercise look a little easy. I've been working at it for years. Let's get into the workout. I'm going to show you each of the 2 exercises ahead of time so that if you want to move faster and get ahead of me, you can. Now remember, this is a strength workout. I want you using weight loads where you really challenge yourself. Collect a bunch of dumbbells, and do we need a band today? We also need a circular hip band today. So go grab your hip band, grab your dumbbells. Let me show you the first 2 exercises. You're going to put on your circle hip band, and you want to have a set of moderate weight dumbbells nearby. First exercise, you can either use your dumbbells or not. Feet together, partial squat. We are going to sit down, step together, sit down. Alternating squats with the band, okay? It's more of a stepping exercise, less of a squat. FYI, you can hold your dumbbells at your chest if you want. Second exercise, dumbbells at your thighs, upright row. Are you ready to begin? Go ahead and put that circular hip band on. You can hold your dumbbells at your sides if you want a harder workout. Here we go. Sitting down into a partial squat, alternating sides. So really, this is more about the lateral stepping than it is about the squat. So I want you really activating as you bring that leg outward. This is an alternate to a lateral band step. So I want you really activating that leg out before you come into that little partial squat, okay? So it's not really about the squat. It's more about the abduction, bringing that leg out. 12 on each side is 24 in total. Like I said, you can do this with or without dumbbells, whatever feels right for you today. Lead with the heel. Heel, because we want your feet staying parallel to each other. 12 on each side, 24 in total. One more. Upright row. Grab moderate weight dumbbells, and you're going to end with your elbows either at the height of your shoulders or slightly higher. Depending on how healthy your shoulders are, you're going to choose your end position. I tend to prefer this end position with the elbows elevated. It hits those deltoids just a wee bit better. But if you have a history of shoulder issues or injury, you will want to stop just a little short so that your elbows are outside of your shoulders. 12 reps. And now we take a short break before the second set. You can stay with me in terms of the break if you want to do 2 supersets today. And if you're intending to do 3 supersets, you're probably going to take a slightly shorter break. But I do want you to take a little bit of a break because it's the rest that allows you to come back recharged and refueled so that you can work harder on the second set. I really want the last 2 repetitions of every single set to be challenging at about 12 repetitions. You guys ready for the second set? If you're using dumbbells, just naturally hold them at your shoulders, at your chest, soften into the knees so you're in a starting partial squat, and we're sitting down and step together. Alternating sides, 12 on each side. If you're new to my workout, you are responsible for counting your repetitions. Sometimes my repetition counting is not accurate, and that's because I choose to really dedicate my mental energy to coaching and teaching. And I know that you're a big girl and you can count to 12. So that is your personal responsibility tip for the day. 12 reps on each side. Remember, this is really about that abduction that's happening when you step your foot out, okay? Step that foot out, and then you just come down to a wee partial squat. Wee partial squat, pushing your hips back. You're gonna feel this in your glutes. This is a lot of glute medius here. 24 in total. And I'm gonna do 1 more on each side. Now that last set of upright row was actually kind of comfortable for me. So I'm gonna grab heavier dumbbells. Upright row is one of those exercises that generally you can go a little heavier. I encourage you to try 5, 8, 10, maybe even 12 pounds on this exercise, depending on how practiced you are at the movement and where you are in your strength training journey. Elbows nice and high, 12 reps, keeping your shoulder blades drawn back towards each other. Big pull, 2 more 12 reps. And then we're gonna take a short break. You've got the option, if you want to do a 3rd superset of these 2 exercises, go for it. But I'm gonna show you our next 2 exercises. You're going to do this first exercise with or without dumbbells. Second exercise, you want moderate to light dumbbells. First exercise, feet together, knees bent. You're going to step back into a lunge and then immediately step forward into a knee lift. Lunge to knee lift. Now, if that's too challenging for you, you can lunge, tap, knee lift, tap, lunge, tap, knee lift, tap. 12 on one leg, 12 on the other leg. Second exercise, moderate weight dumbbells, maybe even lighter weight dumbbells, feet together. We are shoulder cycling and reverse. Forward, out, down, reverse. Out, forward, down. 12 full cycles. Your shoulders are going to be popping after this workout, I promise. Okay, so you ready for this exercise? Let's do those reverse lunges with a knee lift. You can do it with or without dumbbells, feet together, knees bent. Here we go. Reverse lunge, straight into your knee lift. Reverse lunge, knee lift. Now, when you come to that knee lift, I want you to really activate and squeeze the glute here of the leg that you're standing on here. This exercise really is a standing leg exercise. So if you're mirroring me, it's your right leg is what we're focused on, what we're strengthening, and where you want to put your mental focus. Use your breath. You got 12 reps here. One more. Tell me, how much is that glute screaming at you? It's incredible, right? Same thing on the other leg. This is a great exercise for your glutes. Feet together. Again, you can do it without dumbbells if you want. Reverse lunge, knee lift. Really squeeze the glute of the standing leg. If you're mirroring me, it's your left glute. Use your breath. Drive into that front heel. Now listen, if you find this challenging because of balance, that's normal. This really is an advanced exercise because of the balance component. So if you find yourself having to tap down before that knee lift, that's cool. I still want you to do the knee lift though, so that you can fully squeeze that glute there when that knee is up. This position where you really activate your glute is super, super valuable. 12 reps, one more, and we're gonna go into that shoulder cycle. Feet together, knees bent, shoulders, really important, my friend. Look, shoulders back, shoulders down. Push your shoulders towards your hips, slight bend in the elbow, forward and reverse. Forward, out, that's one. Your shoulders are gonna be looking so good after the shoulder workout. Here's 3. 4. I told you guys you're gonna get a good shoulder workout today. Oh, you just wait. The thing I like about working shoulders, and I'm gonna tell you an industry secret that you might not know. It actually took me a long time to learn this about strength training. A lot of times, people are interested in making their arms look better, so they do bicep and tricep exercises. In my experience now of 30 years of training people, I can tell you that shoulder exercises are the key to making your arms look great. It took me forever to learn it, but it's the deltoid, the way that it comes down and inserts on your upper arm, that makes your arms look amazing. And when you get that, when you get a nice, full, rounded, strong deltoid, you don't have to put as much emphasis into the biceps and triceps, because really the visual of the arm has a lot to do with your deltoids. So this exercise is my gift to you. Okay, probably I'm gonna call it one more cycle. You should be feeling your shoulders at this point. And that's why I recommended going with a slightly lighter dumbbell on this exercise, because it is a pretty intense exercise because you're spending so much time under tension throughout the exercise. I mean, that exercise alone probably takes 2 or 3 minutes, which is a lot of time under tension for the deltoid. The more time under tension, the less weight load you're able to do. So whenever we have one of these exercises like this, you know that you want to grab a lighter dumbbell, even if you're super, super strong. Short break. We're going to do both of these again. How did that first set feel? Remember, I want this to be challenging. So let's go back to those reverse lunges with the knee up. If it was comfortable for you, I want you to pick up some heavier dumbbells. Totally fine to do this body weight as well. This is your workout. Feet together, knees bent. You ready? Here we go. So we are focused on the right leg. If you're mirroring me here, okay? Whichever leg you're standing on is the working leg. Use your breath. Such a great glute exercise. You want your butt to look awesome? Right here it is. One of my favorite exercises. And one more, going to the other side, okay? Make sure you keep the same dumbbell for each side, but between sets, you can increase or lower your weight load as you need to. And adjust this exercise as you need to. If you need to do body weight only and use something to stabilize yourself, like a chair or placing your hands on your front knee, totally fine. And if you're super stable and strong and you want to pick up some heavy dumbbells, go for it. Gosh, you could do 20, 25, 30-pound dumbbells here if you want. Really squeeze that glute of the leg you're standing on. Super important. One more. Shoulder cycles. 12 full cycles. Out, forward, down, and reverse. Shoulders back and down in place. I promise it'll change your life when you get that anchoring of the shoulder girdle. Out, forward, down, reverse. Forward, out, down. That's one. Press your shoulders towards your hips. When you really get that shoulder girdle anchoring, you'll feel this exercise in your upper back. In fact, I tend to have a pretty defined, muscular looking upper back. And I always say it's because I've really mastered shoulder adduction, bringing my shoulders towards each other and getting my shoulder blades where they need to be for every single exercise I do, whether it's a chest, a back, a shoulder exercise. Getting your shoulders back and down in space makes your upper back strong, functional, and look chiseled. It's really, really great. Deltoids are on fire. Are you feeling it? Oh, so good. Make sure you keep a little bend in your knees, little neutral bend there, because that helps to unlock your pelvis. And when your pelvis is unlocked, your lower back is going to be in a better position. And when your lower back is in a better position, your upper body is in a better position. And I think we've got one more here. And then we're going to take a short break. And I will show you the last exercise. The next 2 exercises for the next superset. And remember, if you want to do a third superset, go for it. Next 2 exercises. Cossack Squat with a reverse fly. You might be able to use the same weight load for both exercises. You might want a slightly heavier dumbbell for the first exercise. Second exercise, slightly light. First exercise, Cossack Squat. If you're using dumbbells, they're at your shoulders. You're going to take your feet pretty wide. Toes are turned open at about 45 degrees, and you're going to reach your hips back. You're going to sit down onto one leg and then immediately come over to the other leg and sit nice and deep. You really want to sit deep into this leg that you're contracting into at a 45-degree angle. Second exercise, reverse flies. Feet together, knees bent, neutral arch in your lower back. Please make sure you've got a natural neutral arch in your lower back, drawing those dumbbells back for posterior deltoid. Reverse fly. You ready? Cossack Squat. Feet wide, toes turned open at about 45 degrees. Bend your knees, hips back. You're going to sit onto your heels. Sit deeply into the heels, 12 on each side. Letting that toe come up as you alternate, moving faster or slower, whatever works for you today. Keeping your chest up a little. I don't want you to drop your chest too much. Sit heavy into that heel. Feel your glutes. Oh, it's so good. So good for the glutes. Whew. Totally normal to lose your balance. Reposition your feet as you need to. The more that you push into your heels, the more likely it is you're going to lose your balance. Happens to me all the time. Quite normal. 12 on each side and reverse flies. Feet together. You're in a basically Romanian deadlift position here. Feet together, knees bent, neutral back, little bit of a curvature in your lower spine, driving out, leading with your pinky fingers. 12 reps. Shoulders back and down. Oh, is that good or what? This too is one of the exercises that really makes your upper back look fabulous, but technically it's a shoulder exercise. Keep your head in alignment with your spine. You're not looking forward and bending at the neck. Keep a 90-degree angle between your chin and your neck. 12 reps, short break. Walk it out, get some water. Definitely allow yourself that little bit of a rest. Evaluate, how did it feel? So for me, on the Cossack Squats, the weight load is easy, but the balancing of the exercise is challenging for me today for whatever reason. So strength-wise, I could probably go a little heavier. I could take my dumbbells up, but instead I'm going to keep it a little low because I really want to make sure that I get good technique there. When you get great technique on a Cossack Squat, you feel all of it in your booty. It's a lot of booty when you really get it right. And right technique is really being able to sit down deeply onto the heel of the leg that you're contracting onto. Get your body weight onto your heels like bonkers with a neutral curvature in your lower back, and it's a lot of booty. Let's go for our second set. 12 reps each side. Take a minute to get into position because it really does help to make the set a little better when you find that perfect position. Dumbbells at your chest. Here we go. Reach those hips back, sitting onto that heel. Really sit heavy. About halfway. 12 on each side. sitting deep, really deep here. Push those hips back. Oh, that's so good. One more, and reverse fly. When you really get your weight on your heels and you get your hips reaching back, it's almost all a glute exercise. So good. Feet together, knees bent. Neutral spine, shoulders adducted towards each other, depressed towards your hips. Here we go. If your weight is a little light, you're gonna pause at the top. Pause. Really give your muscles a moment to have to work. Right here, pause. Make them work. That isometric contraction here increases the time under tension on that posterior deltoid and associated muscles. And it's one of the best ways you can build strength, but also change the appearance of your muscles. I covered this in my book, Lift to Get Lean. If you haven't gotten it yet, you should, because I talk about the pause and why it's so valuable. Specifically for women, when you get that pause at the point of maximal contraction, it really changes how your muscles look and how they function. Go on into your third set if you're down for that. Otherwise, I'm going to show you our next two exercises. Slightly heavier dumbbell. Hold on, what is that exercise? Okay, I surprised myself. I forgot that I added this exercise to the workout. Slightly heavier dumbbell for this next set. Okay, first is a squat and press. Feet are about shoulder width distance apart. Toes are turned open. Dumbbells at your sides. I'm gonna have you squat, going straight into a press. Squat, overhead press. Second exercise is a dumbbell lateral raise, moderate weight load, straight out. Okay, slight bend at the elbow, but just like that reverse fly, which is different, you want to have a little bit of bend in your elbows, shoulders back and down. So for now, for the first exercise, grab a heavier dumbbell. We got squat and press. Feet are shoulder width distance, toes turned open a little teeny tiny bit, hips reach back. Here we go. 12, there's one. Big press. About halfway. Use your breath. 4 more. One more. And if that doesn't get your heart rate up, I don't know what will. Moderate weight dumbbells. Dumbbell, deltoid, lateral raise. Shoulders back and down, slight bend at the elbows, and straight out and down. As best you can, keep your neck relaxed. Slight pause right there. Shoulders back and down. At this point, you're probably feeling your deltoids. You should be. I'm not even using heavy weights today, and I'm feeling those deltoids. This is a big shoulder workout. 2 more. 1 more. Short break, unless you're doing 3 sets. I still want you taking a little bit of a break, even if you're doing the 3 supersets. This is not a cardiovascular workout. This should be a muscular focused fatigue, so that as you're going throughout the workout, you feel the work on the muscles. You might get a cardiovascular training effect as well. You might have increased breathing, but I really want the limiting factor to be your strength and your muscles, not your cardiovascular ability. So if you're here looking for like a high heart rate, high intensity cardio workout, you want to check out my full body plus cardio workout because this is a little bit more strength based. Okay, you ready? Second set, squat and press. How was that first one? That first one, the weight was perfect for me. It was challenging on my muscles, but it also got my heart rate up because it's inevitable on this exercise, your heart rate's going to go up. It's such a big move, but you really do want to feel it on the musculature of your upper body. Let's go, 12 reps. Big push. Sit heavy onto your heels, really heavy on your heels. You don't want a lot of action on the toes. And 12 here. Big push. One more. And going into that dumbbell lateral raise. Finding the right weight load. Feet about hip distance apart or together. Shoulders back and down, knees soft. Here we go. Straight out. Neck is relaxed but long. Use your breath as you need to. Stay heavy on your heels. Not a lot of tension on the toes. 3 more. One more. Short break, unless you're moving ahead of me. Next 2 exercises, we've got a hip thrust, or you can do a glute bridge on your mat. I will demonstrate. If you've got an elevated surface nearby, that's ideal. It could be a couch, a chair, a step stool, a piano bench, a coffee table, an exercise bench. For the hip thrust, with a little bit of weight at your hips, you can also perform the same exact exercise on the ground. Second exercise is going to be an alternating elbow plank, which also can be done on an elevated surface or on the ground. Let me demonstrate our hip thrust. You do want some weight nearby. You're gonna sit on your surface, place your shoulder blades right at the edge of that surface so that you can anchor on with your shoulder blades. Heels, shoulder width distance apart, toes are turned to open slightly, and from here you're gonna come up, tucking your pelvis under, looking down over your body, and from here we're gonna drop down with a little bit of an arch at your lower back at the bottom, driving into the heels. Arching, swinging your lower back towards the back, just a little teeny tiny bit. I'm gonna come at a slightly better angle so you can see me better from the side there. Second exercise, elbow plank, alternating feet. You can do it on your elevated surface if you want. It's harder on the ground. Elbows are going to be right under your shoulders, stepping back into a plank, and from here, we're gonna alternate, bringing your body weight onto each foot. Just alternating side to side to put that load onto the core. You can also do your glute bridge with your dumbbell. If you don't have a surface for a hip thrust, you can turn it into a glute bridge here, which we do quite frequently in our workouts, and that's why I wanted to give you something different. So let's go. Hip thrust with the weight. Anchoring your shoulder blades on your surface. It's almost like you want to grab your surface with your shoulder blades and anchor onto it. Toes are turned to open slightly. Let your tailbone reach back right there. Tailbone kind of sucks backwards so that you've got a little bit of an arch in your lower back at the bottom. Tucking the pelvis under at the top, driving into your heels, trying to keep your toes nice and relaxed. Swing those hips under and then tuck them under. Swing them back and under, tuck them under. Swing them back, tuck them under. Exhale as you push. Moderate to heavy weight load here, whatever works for you. 12 reps, one more. And we're gonna go into that elbow plank with an alternating leg raise. Coming onto the elbows, directly under your shoulders. Clasping your hands together, feet are separated. Natural plank, you can hold here if you want. If that's comfortable, you're gonna bring one foot up for a beat, alternating. 12 reps each side. Oh, so good. Such a good core exercise. Twelve reps each side. Two more. And short break. You can rest here in a quadricep stretch if that feels good, or tuck your toes under, bring your body weight onto your feet and roll back and forth for some foot mobility. I love using this during my rest phase because it's an invaluable exercise for the feet, the arches, the ankles, toe mobility. It's everything. This is an incredible physical therapy exercise. If you find you've got limited mobility at the toe joint, this is your new best friend. One more short break. Let's set up for that second set of hip thrust. Now, if that first set was comfortable and the weight load was easy, grab yourself a slightly heavier weight load, whatever is appropriate to your fitness level today. Remember, I want the last 2 repetitions to be challenging. So choose your weight load accordingly. Heels are about shoulder width distance apart, toes turned to open, coming up to the top with their shoulder blades really anchored onto your bench, looking down, past and through your knees, swinging your hips down and back, and then tuck. Hips swinging down and back. So we really want to make sure that there is a posterior chain activation here at the bottom. And so I think of it almost like my tailbone is getting sucked underneath the bench back behind me. And then at the top, I really tuck the pelvis under right there. You don't have to come super high on this exercise. In fact, sometimes I tend to come a little too high, but the goal is to really get your pelvis tucked under right there. And it also depends on your own body structure. Some people do need to come a little bit higher. Some people don't. It really just kind of depends on how your body is built, how you activate your pelvis, and where your pelvis is in space. One more, and relax. Coming into that elbow plank with alternating feet or not. Now listen, on this elbow plank, you can just hold it as an elbow plank if you want. You don't have to come to the alternating feet. It definitely makes it harder. This exercise really is about bringing your load onto the foot that you're standing on to load that side of your core. So into good quality neutral plank. You can stay here if you want, or we're just alternating sides. You don't even have to lift your foot very high because really the point of the exercise is just to bring your body weight onto one leg so that that side of your body, that core side, gets loaded. It's also just a great functional exercise for the legs and the quads. You also get a little bit of anterior deltoid, which is a shoulder muscle, which is why I included this in today's legs, shoulders, abs. 12 on each leg. And relax. Coming to your hands and knees. Knees are separated under the shoulders. And from here, I want you to release your spine down into a natural neutral curvature right here, just to relax for a moment. And then let's reverse that, really rounding your spine up towards the ceiling. Actively round it out, drawing in through your abdomen. Really push up. And then let's reverse and open and up. We're going to do 4 or 5 of these, moving at your own pace as it feels good and right for your bod. All the way up. And one more. Bringing your feet together, tucking your toes, bringing your body weight onto your feet, feet together. And let's do a couple of rocking motions back and forth to really improve that foot mobility. If this is easy for you, keep doing it. That's a good thing. If this is hard for you, keep doing it. It's a good thing. Let me tell you, there are times when this is excruciating for me because I have limited mobility in my toes, and it's something that I have to work on all the time. And I can tell you right now, this is one of the best exercises for toe joint health. And from here, I want you to slowly stand up, lifting your knees 10 times before you move about. I don't want you to get dizzy. Whenever you're coming up from a floor position to a stand position, you really want to make sure you raise those knees to help the blood flow and the oxygen come back up to your brain. Let's take a deep inhale. Exhale it out. One more time. Big inhale up. Thank you so much for joining me today. Exhale. I hope to see you next time. Have a great day.